So, hello, wonderful humans. Elaine here with Heart Activation. Just waiting for my daughter to exit school, so I might get cut off considering how long I talk for. So, a topic that has been showing up for me recently, saying yes to oneself and not falling into the old patterns or behaviors that I'm used to. And this shows up frequently with people that I work with. I mean, that is what healing is about. It's a returning to self. It's a returning to a version of us that we don't even know is possible. And that can feel scary. That can feel like we're heading into the unknown, because really we kind of are. And that's okay. That is okay. Heading into and saying yes to yourself, actually, there's a domino effect that happens, right? So when we begin to feel this discomfort and this dissonance within us, we begin to recognize, like, hey, something doesn't feel right. Like, I'm not feeling fulfilled. Some of us don't really know how to feel joy or passion anymore, right? We're just kind of on autopilot, continuously seeking, but not necessarily knowing what we're seeking for. And when we begin to say yes to ourselves, it feels uncomfortable. And quite honestly, it can feel a little messy as well. But the point is that you start somewhere. The process unfolds as you begin to shift and open up. So as soon as you set that intention of like, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to start putting like self-care first. We're going to start doing yes to self-love. We're going to start making time for what is important to me. And we're going to learn how to show up differently for myself so I can show up differently for others. This creates a ripple effect into all areas of life. And it can feel like things start to actually, some things feel like stronger. You feel stronger. You gain more clarity. But the other thing too is like things that weren't actually helpful for you begin to fall away. And it's important to remember that the process of healing is a slow unbecoming, and that it can be messy, but those tools and everything that are here for you is exactly to guide you through the unknown and through the messy parts. So I know for me, it's a continuation of saying yes and questioning, like, am I just holding back and not experiencing because I'm afraid of what that new version of myself is like, right? Like, growing in my personal life and as a mom and as a business owner, it's a dedication. It's a continuous commitment and devotion to myself, to those things that I know are expanding and revolutionary for my life. And it's actually in the small little moments that create the biggest waves. Healing for me I once sought out those peak experiences where I would get readings all the time. I would go and spend thousands of dollars on mentors and guidance, which is perfect. These type of retreats and guidances were more of a peak experience type energy. But what happened was these peak experiences left me living my life in a way that didn't actually give me the tools that I needed. It didn't help me make small changes. It just gave me insight with no landing. And so the change that we can make repeatedly over and over again is the change in which we begin to see actual shifting happen. I just read recently that, am I going to remember this correctly? What we do persistently is what our frequency becomes. So what we persistently do is where our frequency goes, is where our frequency is at. And I was like, that's so true. But that doesn't mean like just putting on a show and saying that you're fine when you're really not. It doesn't mean dishonoring yourself in the process. It means what you continuously do to honor oneself is how you will get to this version of yourself that you see for you and for the future that you want to live. And these were just some contemplations that I've had recently, and I just posted this about breaking up with yourself, right? Because every new version of us will grieve the old version of us. Every new version of us will want to hold on to old people, places, and things. And that's okay, right? It's a whole process. But to acknowledge these things and to also continue to move forward in a way that feels aligned for you. And I thought that this was a great thing to talk about, because in our healing journey, it's not a one shift from yes to no and black or white or good or bad or right or wrong. It's a continuous small choice for yourself. And that way you begin to see those changes as shifts within your life. And it's a beautiful thing. And I'm sending you so much love. My daughter is going to be coming out of school here shortly. So sending so much love. And until then, we will connect later.